We begin the day with Iran and Pakistan and their tit-for-tat airstrikes against each other. On Thursday, Pakistan launched a series of attacks by air aimed at what it says are militant hideouts inside Iran. The strikes were also in retaliation for Iranian attacks just a day earlier on what Tehran claims is a terrorist group hideout inside Pakistan. The official targets of both attacks are militant or terrorist groups, but that is only part of the story here. Pakistan has called its ambassador in Tehran home. A former Pakistani foreign minister said today that Pakistan had no choice but to answer Iran's show of force with a show of force of its own.
Villagers assessing the damage. This footage appears to show the aftermath of a Pakistani strike on Iran's border region. Iranian state media say at least 9 people were killed there on Thursday. Islamabad has confirmed it carried out the attacks.
This morning, Pakistan undertook a series of highly coordinated and specifically targeted precision military strikes against terrorist hideouts in Sistan-o-Baluchistan province of Iran. A number of terrorists were killed during the intelligence-based operation.
The strikes in the Iranian border region of Sistan and Baluchistan are a response to Iran's attacks inside Pakistan earlier this week. Tehran said it hit a separatist group which threatens its security.
None of the nationals of the friendly and brotherly country of Pakistan were targeted by the missiles and drones of Iran. There is this group, the so-called Jaish al-Adl, which is an Iranian terrorist group. And they have taken shelter in some provinces inside Pakistan.
The exchange of strikes has sparked a diplomatic crisis. Islamabad recalled its ambassador to Iran and stopped his Iranian counterpart from returning to Pakistan. Pakistan's caretaker Prime Minister Anwar-ul-Haq Kakar cut short his visit to the World Economic Forum in Davos. As events unfold, regional powers have urged calm from both sides.
Our region does not need more problems and conflicts. We see that the war in Gaza unfortunately escalates regional tensions. We saw this tension reflected in Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, Yemen, the Persian Gulf, and the Red Sea. In addition to all this, unfortunately, we have been closely following developments between Pakistan and Iran over the last 2 days with concern.
While officials trade accusations, protesters have taken to the streets of Islamabad to denounce the strikes on Pakistan's territory. They are saying attacking nuclear-armed Pakistan would be dangerous for the whole world.
What do the airstrikes between Pakistan and Iran mean for the region and for the rest of the world? Joining me now is Guido Steinberg from the German Institute for International and Security Affairs. We've spoken numerous times about the geopolitics of the greater Middle East region. Guido, it's good to see you again. Pakistan and Iran, are these two countries that are headed for war?
No, I don't think so. Both sides have made clear that they don't see their attacks as attacks on the neighboring country, but rather as attacks on terrorists or Baluchi separatists in the other country. So I don't think there is any danger for an escalation between these two countries now.
A former Pakistani foreign minister told us earlier today that Pakistan had few, if any, options other than to respond with force. Do you agree?
Well, yes, I think so. I think the Pakistani government and especially the army was surprised by this attack. In fact, this is Iran attacking a nuclear-armed neighbor. Nobody could have suspected that this was about to happen. So, in the logic of the nation states in the world, I think it's plausible that such an Iranian attack on Pakistani territory warranted a Pakistani military response.
Yeah, Guido, you bring up a very important point here. Pakistan is a nuclear power. What does that tell us about Iran, considering that Iran was willing to provoke Pakistan with a military strike?
Well, I think that Iran has become extremely self-confident in recent weeks and months. Its proxies in the Gaza Strip, in Lebanon, in Iraq, in Syria, and in Yemen have now attacked a wide range of different targets. And although Iran is partially responsible because it provides all these proxies with drones, with cruise missiles, and with ballistic missiles, there has not been any military response. And I think that's part of the reason why Iran thinks it can get away with an attack even on Pakistan.
And what do we know about these militants that Iran and Pakistan targeted with these airstrikes?
Well, we know quite a bit about the Baluchi separatists in eastern Iran. There have been a problem in the country for more than 20 years now. They have perpetrated several attacks in recent months, especially on the Revolutionary Guards. And I think the main reason for what we see here does not have an awful lot to do with events in the Middle East, but more with domestic politics in Iran. Iran, especially after the attacks in Kerman, although they have been claimed by Islamic State and not by Baluchi separatists, wanted to show its citizens all over the country that it is willing and able to fight these jihadist groups on its soil. Tehran is extremely worried about separatism or separatist tendencies that have become a bit more obvious in the last year, not only in Baluchistan, but also in southwest Iran, where many Arabs live, and in Iranian Kurdistan. I think that's the deeper reason for the Iranian attack.
Okay, Guido Steinberg with the German Institute for International and Security Affairs. Guido, as always, we appreciate your time and your analysis. Thank you.